Imagine a world swallowed by white. The Great Plains in winter are both beautiful and deadly. The wind sculpts deep drifts, erasing all paths, while temperatures drop so low that exposure can be fatal in minutes. For the Lakota, winter was a test of knowledge and preparation, not luck. Their survival depended on creating a home that could withstand months of relentless cold, a home that was more than just shelter. The Lakota teepee was no primitive hut, it was a marvel of engineering, refined over generations to work with, not against, nature. Every detail of the teepee served a purpose, making it one of the most effective winter shelters ever devised. The story of the teepee is a story of human ingenuity, of thriving in harmony with the land, not by conquering it. As we explore its design, we discover how observation and adaptation can turn even the harshest winter into a season of endurance and community. The Lakota teepee's brilliance began with its design, not just its construction. Its conical shape wasn't for looks, it was aerodynamic, deflecting fierce prairie winds that would flatten other shelters. Built from strong, lightweight lodgepole pine, the frame could be adjusted for wind direction, showing a deep understanding of physics and place. The teepee was portable, dismantled in under an hour, and moved with the people as they followed the buffalo. This mobility never compromised its strength. It could be re-erected quickly, offering immediate protection. The teepee was a sophisticated, purpose-built home, shedding snow, standing firm in storms, and moving with its inhabitants. Every element was refined for efficiency, making it a masterpiece of sustainable design. Far from primitive, the teepee was a living structure, perfectly attuned to its environment. It stands as proof that true innovation is about working with nature, not against it. The Lakota teepee remains a model of intelligent, functional design. Survival began with choosing the right campsite. The Lakota avoided exposed hilltops, instead seeking natural windbreaks, river valleys, groves of trees, or the lee of a hill. These choices created a warmer, calmer microclimate, using the land itself as insulation. Trees provided both shelter and firewood, while proximity to water was essential. Teepees were clustered with doors facing east, away from prevailing winds and toward the morning sun. This arrangement offered mutual protection and warmth, turning the camp into a communal haven. Before raising the teepee, snow was cleared to the earth, creating a stable, insulated base. Site selection was an act of ecological wisdom, integrating the teepee into the landscape for maximum survival. The Lakota's deep knowledge of land and weather was their first and most vital defense. The teepee's strength came from its conical frame of lodgepole pine, straight, tall, and resilient. 3 or 4 main poles formed a tripod, anchoring the structure, with more poles added to create a perfect circle. This radial design distributed weight evenly, making the teepee incredibly stable and flexible in high winds. The steep sides shed snow effortlessly, preventing dangerous buildup and collapse. The apex of the frame was more than a joint, it was the heart of the teepee's ventilation, allowing smoke to escape. Adjustable flaps at the top could be positioned to direct airflow and manage smoke, adapting to wind and weather. The entire frame was a dynamic system, balancing strength, flexibility, and ventilation. The Lakota's understanding of geometry and engineering made the teepee a shelter that worked with the elements, not against them. It was a structure designed for survival in the harshest conditions. The teepee's cover, crafted from buffalo hides, was a technological marvel. Dozens of hides were tanned, stitched, and shaped to fit the frame, creating a breathable, water-resistant skin. This cover let moisture escape, preventing dampness and keeping the interior dry and warm. In winter, an inner lining, often decorated, created an insulating air gap, much like double glazing. Snow was piled around the base, sealing out drafts and adding another layer of insulation. The combination of hide, lining, and snow transformed the teepee into a warm, comfortable refuge. The Lakota's use of natural materials was both practical and ingenious. The heart of the teepee was its fire, a small, efficient blaze in a central pit. The conical shape acted as a chimney, drawing smoke upward and out through the adjustable flaps at the apex. These flaps could be shifted to match wind direction, using the breeze to help vent smoke. The system allowed for precise control of heat and air, keeping the interior warm and clear. This dynamic ventilation required constant attention, a daily dialogue with the weather. The ability to safely maintain a fire inside a hide shelter was a breakthrough, making true winter comfort possible. The Lakota mastered fire and smoke, turning the teepee into a livable, communal home. Stepping into a Lakota teepee was entering a world apart from the frozen plains. The low hide door and snow berms sealed out the cold, while the floor was layered with pine boughs and buffalo robes for insulation. The circular layout, with the fire at the center, kept everyone warm and organized. Belongings were stored behind the inner lining, keeping the space tidy and efficient. The shape and lining created a gentle air circulation, distributing warmth and drawing smoke upward. This passive convection system kept the lodge comfortable, even in the harshest storms. The teepee was more than shelter. It was a home, a place of community, story, and warmth. Its design reflected both practical needs and deep cultural meaning. The Lakota teepee is more than a relic, it's a lesson in sustainable, intelligent design. Its principles, passive ventilation, natural insulation, adaptability, mirror those of modern green architecture. The teepee's flexibility and resilience offer a model for living in harmony with changing environments. Every part of the teepee was used wisely, reflecting a deep respect for the land. The Lakota saw themselves as part of nature, not its conquerors, a perspective urgently needed today. In a world facing climate crisis, the teepee's wisdom is more relevant than ever. It shows that true innovation comes from observation, respect, and balance with the earth. The teepee stands as a blueprint for a more harmonious, sustainable way of living.